What am I doing? Sweet potato butternut squash mash. Welcome back to another episode of The Silly Kitchen. We are coming up to cooler weather and a little bit of that fall in the air. So I thought today for a recipe I would show you a great little side dish using sweet potato and butternut squash. If you love food and you love food recipes and hanging out with me in the kitchen, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I got lots coming your way. To get started this recipe, obviously you need a squash and a sweet potato. You also need some olive oil, salt and pepper, and if you'd like you can use fresh garlic, or I'm going to use today garlic salt to season it. That is it. A peeler and a knife and away we go. So the first thing you're going to do is peel both of your sweet potato as well as your squash. Now the squash is gonna be a little tougher to peel because it's got a tougher skin on it, but just do your very best to get all of these rough pieces off because you don't want to chew on those afterwards. All right, now a lot of people will roast squash and sweet potato whole, but I'm gonna give these a good chop. So there's some nice curves on this thing, but just hang on and do your best and give her. This is gonna be the hardest part of the recipe, guys, is just getting all the peels off. This is gonna take the most time. After that, we are just gonna fly through this recipe. Once you've got your veggies peeled, is that what they are, veggies? Potato? Starch. Once you've got these two things peeled, this is a good time to preheat your oven to 400 degrees and let that temperature come up while we go ahead and prepare the rest of these lovely items. Your squash, you need to cut off both of the ends so that these parts don't go into the oven with you. That's gonna be super chewy and not so good. Okay, once you've done that, give it a cut. And this middle part, this big part here, it has a bunch of seeds in it. You can roast it just like this, but I highly recommend we scoop these babies out. Just magically get a spoon and scrape out your seeds and guts, as I like to call it. It's, you know, it's the squash family. It's the gourds and pumpkins. So you can save the seeds, wash them, and toast them in the oven as well. But for this recipe, we just don't need them, so put them aside. Once you've got all that out, we're just gonna chop these into, I wanna say cubes, but you can't really cube it when it has like a little happy face. So just do your best to cut your squash into even pieces, because if you just go totally rogue and random on these, some of the bigger pieces will take longer to roast and the smaller pieces will just go all mushy. So try to have even size pieces, but they don't need to be uniform by any means because we're making a mash. We're gonna mash these babies. Now you've got a giant pile of your squash. You gotta do the same thing to your sweet potatoes. So same thing, just cut off those little ends. We don't need those. And we are going to chop up our sweet potato into similar sizes as the squash. I should probably not look up at the camera while I'm using a knife and look down at it so I don't cut a finger off. Oh golly. Okay, now that you've got all of this stuff in chunks, wait, this one is not the right size. Let me just fix that up. I'm gonna kind of mix them together on my board a little bit so that it's a good sweet potato to squash kind of mixture here, because the next step is we need to put them on our sheet pan. Just a good old sheet pan, and you're gonna use your favorite olive oil to first drizzle a bit onto the pan, because then it's gonna have a nice little bottom for these. And we're just gonna transfer all of these over to the sheet pan. Okay. Oh, My oven is ready. I heard the beep. So literally, I only have a couple things to do here. I've got it all on the board, and I'm gonna make sure that even though my pan is pretty full, I want all of these pieces to touch the bottom. That's where all that really good, sort of like caramelization happens on the bottom when it gets really hot. So drizzle olive oil now on top. All right, and do not be shy with the olive oil. Make sure you get all of these pieces covered. I'm using garlic salt instead of roasting garlic, so get that all over. And because I'm using garlic salt, I'm not going to use regular salt. I'm just going to add pepper. Oh, I love pepper. Now, a lot of people do add things like nutmeg or cinnamon to this. I'm a savory girl at heart, so I'm not going to. But if those fall flavors are something that you love and enjoy, please add it on. There's lots of variations to recipes. That's why I love cooking. That's why I love eating, because we can always try new flavors and do different things. This is ready to go into the oven. Now, this is not a quick recipe in terms of waiting for it to be ready, because you need 45 minutes at 400 degrees in the oven. But you know what's cool about that is you can go about your day for the next 45 minutes, throw in some laundry, make something else, whatever your heart desires. So in 45 minutes, we're gonna take these out of the oven. After 45 minutes or so, you take these babies out of the oven, and a great way to check if they're ready, if you're like, ooh, I don't know, just take your fork and give it a little smush and see if they're nice and soft. Mine are nice and soft, so we are ready to continue. Wear your oven mitt because this thing is hot, but we need to transfer all of this now into a bowl. And I'm using a spatula because I want to get all those beautiful flavors from the bottom of the pan into my bowl. All those final little bits, and you can set your pan aside, you're all done with it. All right, we have it in our bowl, and we are gonna use our handy dandy fork to smush it. But one other ingredient that you need is butter. Butter is a beautiful thing. Do not be afraid to use a nice little chunk. I like my butter already softened, I just keep it out. And we're just gonna add that butter in here as we smush our sweet potato and butternut squash. It already smells so good. So if you've cooked it to the right amount of softness, you should just be able to use your fork and smush these. I mean, if you have a potato masher that you love, go ahead and use it. I find that I lose so many good, beautiful chunks of food on my potato masher when I use it. Maybe I just have a crappy one and maybe I need a really good one. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But honestly, a fork works just as good. And literally, like, it takes no time to get this beautiful, oh my God, I just want to put it right in my mouth. Wait, I gotta mush the rest of it before I taste it. Okay, here we go. Almost done, just getting the last few chunks. You shouldn't have to put too much muscle into it. It should just mash right up for you. All right. I'm pretty happy with the way that this is in terms of consistency. Now I have to try it to see if it actually tastes good. So let's get a little chunk off of my fork because I don't want to use the fork that I'm mashing with. Okay, that's delicious. I was gonna say this is where you taste it, and if you need to add more butter, salt, pepper, anything like that, this is your time to do it before you serve it. But I'm so happy with the flavor. I don't need anything else except to serve it, put it in a prettier bowl, because you guys know how I roll. We need a prettier bowl. And then I can eat it pretty much alongside any meal I want. This would be great with any kind of poultry. This is, it makes me feel like fall, that's all. I mean, I love summer and I miss the heat already, but I really like fall food. and the comfort foods, and this is definitely one of them. I certainly hope you enjoyed this episode of The Silly Kitchen, one of the side dishes that you can try this fall. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel because there's going to be lots more recipes coming your way. Have a good one.